Hey guys, so in this video, I wanted to give you guys my tips for getting divorced without a lawyer. And if you see me looking down, I do have notes written because there are certain things that I wanted to make sure that I didn't forget to include. And obviously I just want to give a caveat out there. I live in Michigan, and these tips for this video are in regards to getting a divorce without a lawyer in the state of Michigan. So first off, you should know that Michigan is a no-fault divorce state. So only one person in the marriage has to want the divorce, and once you file for divorce, there's really nothing that the other person can do to stop you, even if they don't want to get divorced. Only one person needs to want it. So I'm just going to use my notes to talk to you guys and share my tips and advice. For those of you who don't know, I recently got divorced just before St. Patrick's Day. The day before St. Patrick's Day is when my divorce was finalized by the judge. So just to give you guys that information. So the first thing that I would say is, if you are trying to file for divorce, if you're the petitioner, which the petitioner just means that you are the person that is filing for the divorce, then I would recommend going to this website. It is michiganlegalhelp.org. So type it all out, this whole state of Michigan, legalhelp.org. That is where I went. Literally, they ask you these questions, you answer them, and they pull up or create or fill in all of the forms that you need to file for divorce, all of the forms that you will need throughout your divorce. If the papers didn't have like all of my personal information on them, I would show you guys. But it literally, like, step by step, it will ask you questions, you answer the questions, and it writes up your divorce papers for you. And you can literally go to the court clerk or whoever you need to file your forms with, whatever office you need to file them with in your county, and it works. That's all they need. And the judge in my case actually complimented me for having everything written out exactly how it was supposed to be written out. And he said normally he doesn't get people with papers that are written out correctly like that. So definitely use michiganlegalhelp.org. They do have forms for with children or without children. However, from my experience, it is better for you to have a lawyer if you have children involved. I do not have children involved in my divorce case, so I felt fine using michiganlegalhelp.org and filing all the paperwork and doing all the motions and stuff myself. My number 2 tip would be to ask for a fee waiver if needed. So if you can't afford to file for divorce, you can ask for a fee waiver. Now, if you receive food stamps or Medicaid, you automatically qualify for a fee waiver in the state of Michigan. I get Medicaid, so I automatically qualified for the fee waiver. If you don't automatically qualify, you can still request a fee waiver, and then the judge will make the decision on whether to grant the fee waiver or not. And in my experience, there hasn't been very many times, like other people that I know that have filed for court papers or court whatever, who needed a fee waiver, not necessarily just for divorce, have gotten one, because usually if people can afford it, they don't know to ask for it. So ask for a fee waiver if needed. My number 3 tip would be to stay on top of things. And what I mean by that is, in my experience with this divorce, I actually had to serve my ex-husband twice. The first set of divorce papers, I have no idea where it is. It's just lost in the abyss of the world. And what I mean by that is, I sent them out because since he lives in another state, I had to send them via certified or registered mail. So I sent them out, and they still have not gotten to him. And I sent them out in December, and it is April now. As I'm filming this video, it is April, and they still have not gotten to him. So basically they had started to say like my papers were lost somehow. They were doing this loop between Milwaukee and Michigan. And so when they started doing that, I figured they were lost. And I sent out a whole nother sheet of papers. I had the court clerk stamp everything and sent it out to him so that he could be served, because you do have like certain timelines that you need to get things done in. So I would stay on track of every tracking number. Like if you have to serve someone via mail, stay on top of the tracking number. You will need to make sure that you get your green signature card back, because if you send it via certified or registered mail with a return receipt, which is what you need to prove that he was served or she was served with papers, you need to bring that back to the court. So you need to keep track of that. Stay on top of everything. Michigan Legal Help, another thing that I like about them, michiganlegalhelp.org. They also, in your papers that you will print out from them, if you do your paperwork that way, they have a timeline for like what you need to do step by step, and they ask you these questions. So like I'll have to see if I can find that paper, because I think I still have it, about the timeline, and then I can show you guys kind of what I'm talking about, if that makes sense. But they ask you questions, and based on your answers to those questions, it tells you what to do next. So if you guys are interested, I will look for that and see if I can find it. But stay on top of things. Tip number 4 would be to know the timelines and the date requirements. Like I said, when you file, the day that you file initially, you have, I think it's like 90 days from that date before, you know, like you have to have served the person within that time. It may be different based on where you're at, I don't know, but I think what they told me was 90 days he had to be served, and like a court date needs to be scheduled and things like that. So you have to know the timelines. That's very important, because they will throw out your case if you don't do, you know, if it doesn't show that the case is active, you don't progress the case at all, the judge can very easily choose to throw it out. So make sure you are staying on top of those date requirements. Tip number 5 would be make sure you schedule your court date. Know when you're able to schedule your court date. If you are doing a divorce like mine, I could schedule once 60 days had passed, because there are certain waiting periods based on what type of divorce you're asking for. Mine was 60 days because I didn't have children. So schedule your court date. Tip number 6 is to show up for court. This should be common sense, but when I was at court the day that my divorce got finalized, the couple in front of me, the husband didn't show up. And so the judge does not like that when you don't show up for court. And he was not very happy with her husband, the woman who was there. But, you know, it's just show up for court, because if you don't show up, the judge can automatically grant in the other person's favor. So make sure that you show up so that you can be heard and your voice can be heard, your opinion, and, you know, don't just give up your rights to that hearing. And number 7 is be confident. I was so scared going into court, and just like the whole process, I was nervous, I was anxious, I was very stressed out. Be confident. It is intimidating, but you have no reason to be scared. Just be confident that you are making the right decision for yourself and for your life. And, you know, obviously there's a reason why you're getting a divorce. So just be confident in the fact that you are making the right decision for yourself. There's nothing to be scared of. Like I said, I know it's intimidating. I had a lot of anxiety and stress going into my court date. Just make sure that you do everything that you're supposed to be doing. Go in there, be respectful of the judge. Don't get an attitude. Just, you know, answer their questions. Don't give more information than is needed. Just straight up answer their questions and you will be fine. And my last tip is remember that you will be okay. I know that divorces can be very emotional. Mine was very emotional. But you will be okay in the end. It may take some time to heal, but you will be okay. And you will, you know, make progress in your life, and you will get to where you want to be in life. You just have to keep trying and don't give up on yourself. I know that it can be hard. I'm in that spot right now where I am trying not to give up on myself. I'm trying to be positive, and I'm trying, you know, to look on the good side of things and to experience positivity and good things. So with that being said, that's all I have for right now. I hope this was helpful. Like I said, if you guys are interested, I can make another video showing like that timeline from michiganlegalhelp.org. Again, that is like the best website I could tell you if you are trying to do a divorce without a lawyer in the state of Michigan, because it basically lays everything out for you as far as the timeline. It tells you when you need to do things, what you need to do, who you need to give it to, like if you're filing paperwork and things like that. So just, I would definitely recommend them. But if you guys want to see the timeline or want me to talk about that more in another video, I can definitely do that. But just let me know. So with that being said, that's all I have for this video. I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope this was helpful to someone, and I will talk to you guys next time.